ask her to go live. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. If you are, can we have a bit of a noise? Right, so thank you very much for joining and coming to ACCA's very first event post-pandemic, right? So approximately 1.5 years ago, when pandemic hit us, we had to go offline and everything was, we were able to run online only. So this is the first event that we are going to host face-to-face, and we decided to visit Oman for this very first event. So can we have some applause for this, for the first event? Thank you so much. So moving on, my name is Ahmed Bilal Manzoor. I am the Education Executive for ACCA Middle East, and I look after the education agenda for all the markets in the Middle East. I've been joined by my colleague Tahir Kapasi, who is the Regional Education Manager for Middle East, and shortly you'll be hearing more about him, so I'll leave his introduction to him, but you can see him right in the slide here. So we have a action-packed agenda for today. We have done a bit of welcome and introduction, followed by my colleague Tahir will be running a qualification update, and also he'll be talking about ACCA Career Navigator, which is a new groundbreaking initiative by ACCA. So he'll be talking about ACCA's Career Navigator along with other qualification updates. Followed by a brief question and answer session. If you have any questions with regards to the changes in ACCA qualification or the ACCA Career Navigator or anything with regards to your ACCA journey. After that, we have a session on recognizing success where we will be giving certificates to our place winners from March 21, June 21, and September 21 session who secured positions in their ACCA exams in these 3 sessions. Then we'll be having closing remarks by Mr. Zahir Al-Wahabi, right? After this session, we will be turning offline for the online audience, because after that we have an activity which can only be done with the face-to-face audience. On this point, can I ask all of you, if you have access to online WhatsApp, Wi-Fi or data, if you can download the app Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T, because we will be running a fun activity on that app. And I can bet you don't want to miss it because it's a really fun activity. After that, we will be having certificate distribution for the top 3 winners for the activity, followed by the final closing remarks by Tahir Kapasi. So now I would like to call on stage Mr. Tahir Kapasi for his presentation on qualification update and the Career Navigator.
Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Sorry, I think the mic's. Oh, am I stepping on the wrong place? Right. Okay. Welcome everyone. It's actually good to see a live audience. I don't know, just the pre-pandemic, we were very much into doing such events. Last 18 months, 24 months, or 2 years typically have been spent looking at people on a screen in a virtual environment, and all of a sudden this is probably the very first live event that I'm hosting, and all of you here in Oman are, I should say, fortunate maybe that we're having this event where we are formally recognizing some of your achievements. But not just that, we're also gathering you to basically update you on a couple of things that we as ACCA have been incorporating into the qualification changes, which I'm precisely going to be talking to you all about. But before I do that, welcome everyone once again on behalf of ACCA Middle East. It is indeed, sorry, I keep stepping on this. It's indeed a pleasure to have you all here with us and commit your times to this evening. Now, very quickly, before I dive into the qualification changes, we've obviously you've been with us and you've experienced the journey of innovation. And I think it alludes very nicely, segues into the next slide that I'm actually trying to talk on. Now, this is the qualification journey that I'm trying to display over here. ACCA, as a professional qualifications body, has been leading and embodying, shaping the accountancy profession for the good. Change, as we all know, has been the new normal. Things have never been consistent. The only thing that has always been consistent is change, in my view. And likewise, the qualification has been changing as well. We've seen our journey of innovation starting back in 1998 when we introduced the very first computer-based exam. So, we started evolving or developing the qualification to be more and more futuristic. Some of you sitting here, some of our senior members might have experienced the old ways of doing exams. I'm an ACCA member myself, and I started my ACCA qualifications journey back in 2005, where, when I first started, the qualification was somewhere known like 1.1. The exams were not known by their names, but they were known by these codes, which was 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc. And I remember sitting with a pen and paper, in my hand, trying to solve my very first ACCA exams. And I think soon after, we started moving them into the computer-based exams, the first three, which is our knowledge modules. So our journey of innovation basically started since then. In 2014, we introduced objective testing. So we went from long-form testing into objective-type testing questions in some of the segments, some of the exams that we had. We brought in a lot more flexibility the year after. In 2015, we introduced the 4-exam session, bringing in more flexibility for our learning partners, for our students, more opportunities for all of you to sit the ACCA exams. In 2016, applied skills computer-based exams had started testing, so we were in the testing phases of introducing CBE across our applied skills exam and expanding the portfolio of CPA, because we've been constantly noticing the profession evolve, the demands of the employers consistently evolve. We don't do things on pen and paper anymore. I think back in the days, the old styled accounting used to happen with journal entries, and people used to have to sort of manage and maintain ledgers and books of accounts, but that doesn't happen anymore. With the evolution and advances that we've had in digital technology, it's all a few clicks, and I think that's been an incredible journey. So if our employers have started embedding the technology side and the piece into their real life working scenarios, why shouldn't we as a professional qualification start equipping? So that's where our journey of innovation, in transforming our exams onto a more digital platform, more digital environment, giving our students the opportunity to have a more real life scenario, a more real life experience, embedding the skills that the future employers are looking for started. And we started moving all of our exams, on computer based. The journey continued on with moving our strategic professional level exams. We introduced the strategic professional levels in 2018, which was the old professional levels. We revamped the strategic professional levels. We introduced 2 new examinations. We retired a couple of exams, and the journey has been continuing. Last year, we saw a unprecedented pandemic hit us. We were all, I think, tremendously disturbed. Everybody was trying to figure out, what this is and what is going to be the impact of whatever we are facing. People were trying to figure out, how we're going to make this, how are we going to make it through. As a professional qualifications body, we thought, what can we do to make sure our students' journeys are not disrupted? How can we ensure examinations are being made available to them still consistently, keeping in mind the rigor of our exams, ensuring the safety, security of our exams, the models. We introduced remote invigilation, which I think a lot of you might have experienced. We had to cancel the June 2020 exam session, but then from September onwards, we brought in this innovation where we were able to allow students to sit and give their exams from the comfort or the safety of their own homes or wherever they felt, they could get themselves a robust exam environment. So, the journey continues. We won't stop here. this is something that is going to consistently carry on. You never know, the future might be all about, different forms of assessment. As ACCA, we are continually looking at how we can keep incorporating changes and keep meeting the expectations of our tagline, which is think ahead, and ensure how, we evolve the qualification so that our members, our future members, are the kind of professionals that employers this day and age are looking for. So I'm going to be talking to you now about, some of these precise changes that we are going to be making to the ACCA qualification almost, in the upcoming few months. One of which is our examinatory model. So the current examinatory model typically, I would say, is slightly complex. And by the way, before I go into any of these changes, let me explain. Any change that we bring on board to the qualification is mainly in consultation with all our stakeholders. So before we introduce a single change, we make sure we've consulted our employers, we've consulted our policymakers, we've consulted our students, we've consulted our members, just to make sure that it's an inclusive decision and it's a decision that everybody agrees on, and it's something that's for the benefit of all our members and future members. The current examinatory model is slightly complex. This is the feedback that we received from a lot of our students. The window was typically open for about 6 or 7 months. Students could typically book multiple exam sessions, withdraw exam sessions, defer their exams, etc. A lot of that is still going to remain. What we are now doing with the next upcoming changes, we're simplifying our examinatory model slightly. And what does that mean? It means that instead of keeping the examinatory open for 7 months, it'll be open for a time period of 3 months. Students, instead of being able to book 2 consecutive exam sessions, will now only be able to book 1 exam session. The exam periods that used to previously be early, standard, and late will now change. We are withdrawing the early examinatory periods. And that's purely because we didn't see many students taking benefit of the early exam period or the reduced examinatory fees. We thought, and that's what we heard from a lot of our students saying, it wasn't helping because it was too soon for them to decide which exam they want to sit in the upcoming session. Bearing all of that in mind, we decided to withdraw our early examinatory deadline. Going forward from June 2022 onwards, the new model will be in place. The early entry will be removed. We will be removing the dual exam entry system as well. And we will be introducing something that's called Compass. Now, Compass is our latest exam planner guide, which will basically help our future members, our students, plan their exams more efficiently. You'll be able to exactly plan which exam you want to sit in which exam session, etc., and then work your way backwards accordingly in your progression, progressing towards your ACCA qualifications journey, right? What's not changing? The exam sessions will still remain in the same 4 windows, i.e. we will have them still in March, June, September, and December. Exam entries can still pretty much be cancelled or amended up until the standard examinatory deadline date. And students will still be able to sit the same number of exams, which is a maximum of 4 exams per exam session, or 8 new exams in a calendar year. So these things won't change. They will still remain the constant. The only thing that's changing is the model, which is becoming slightly shorter, just so that our students have or can book only single exam at a time. And we're taking off some of the complexities, right? This is a snapshot basically of how the future exam entries will look. You will, or you should have already received the communication from our side, with these dates. These are important dates for you to notice, but if you haven't received it, don't worry, they'll be in your inbox pretty soon. Our teams are working on it, and you should have access to the dates. But as you see, from the very first exam session, which is June 2022, as we bring that on, the standard entry exam will open on the 8th of February. You should soon be expecting your December. So once you've received your December exam results, you'll be having the opportunity to enter for your subsequent June exams, and the entry deadlines will follow subsequently, right? Okay. Moving on, syllabus changes. As you're all aware, existing students, ACCA continually reviews our syllabuses, so we try and incorporate the latest or the most relevant updates into our syllabuses. We make this change almost annually. The positive side for students that are taking exams this year is that there are no major syllabus updates. So there is, if you've sat an exam under the old syllabus for last year, and for any reason you've got to probably resit that exam this year, you don't need to massively worry, because a lot of times students get into this anxiety around, oh, do I need to go and attend classes again? Do I need to start, change my books? Do I need to go through the new set of materials? I think the positive side out of this is there aren't major changes in the syllabus, because we revamped our syllabus. We had a big overhaul last year, which has meant that, we've only made slight tweaks this year to help you find out, or to help you figure out what are the precise changes to our syllabuses. We've designed a very interactive PDF that's also available under the study support resource section. We will also be emailing that PDF out to you, where, depending on what exam you are sitting, whatever changes you want to see, you'll be able to click on that exam, and that PDF will take you to the relevant section where you'll be able to see what has changed, and you'll also be guided towards the relevant pieces of support in terms of catching up or being able to, catch up with whatever has changed on that specific topic. So that's the syllabus changes aspect on our side. But you don't have to worry about any of this, because all of this will be communicated to you. You will be receiving emails, as you always do, from ACCA. All you've got to make sure when, if you want to be up to date with all of this, is you keep your email addresses and your contact details up to date on your My ACCA account, because that's critical. It's quite crucial. If you don't have the relevant and updated contact details on your My ACCA accounts, you won't be, you will probably be missing out on some critical pieces of information. So as students, it's important for you to be connected to us so that we can continuously keep you updated, right? I think another important change that I would like to sort of talk you through today, this evening, is the change on the Oxford Brookes rule. And I think this might be of interest to any of our members that are also sitting here, and perhaps those that might have missed out on the opportunity to get a bachelor's from the Oxford Brookes University. This is an academic partnership that we've had for a number of years now, which has enabled, I think, thousands, hundreds and thousands, of our students basically getting a bachelor's. Those that have specifically right out of school decided to, pursue the ACCA qualification. This has been a very, very valuable academic partnership we've had. Now, because there was initially a rule which meant anybody who hasn't submitted their research and analysis project within 10 years of either passing or getting an exemption of their very first ACCA exam could not submit their research and analysis project. What we've done working with Oxford Brookes University now is we've brought a slight change to that rule, and we've made an exception. So if there is anybody here who for any reason has not been able to submit their research and analysis project, it's probably either because they've missed that 10-year timeline or any other reason, now have the ability. So if you've not been able to complete your RAP, you can do that now. If you're a student, yes, well and good. If you're an affiliate, well and good, you can still do that, as long as you have passed your last ACCA, any 3 ACCA exams within the 5-year period from when you intend to submit the research and analysis project. Yep. So let me explain this. For example, if you want to submit your research and analysis project for the November submission this year, you should have passed any 3 ACCA exams, which is the applied skills or strategic professional level, within 5 years from November this year. You should then be able to submit. You'll be eligible to submit your research and analysis project. If you're a member and you had missed out on this opportunity, as long as you're a member in good standing, i.e. your CPD declarations are on point, your membership subscriptions have been paid, you can also apply to submit the research and analysis project for the Oxford Brookes University degree. Yep. I'll leave some time for Q&A just after I finish all my updates. So if you've got any questions related to any of the things that I've discussed now, I would urge that you park them with you at the moment, and when we get to the Q&A session, I'll be happy to take questions from your side. The final bit is on EPSM, ethics and professional skills. As you all know, as students, ethics and professional skills module is an important module that every student must complete in their journey to the ACCA qualification. It's a compulsory module. There are no exemptions for this. The module has been redesigned and reintroduced back in 2018 with a extensive coverage around not just ethics and corporate governance, but including a lot of professional skills. So aside from the technical skills that you get with passing your ACCA exams, when you do your ethics and professional skills module, you get equipped with a wide range of professional skills, which then, in combination with your technical skills, make you help with shaping you as a well-rounded professional. So there are things like communication, leadership, interpersonal skills. A lot of those things are covered within the EPSM module. One of the recent additions to the EPSM module is peer assessment, and we thought this could potentially be a very, very important addition to the module. It's because sometimes, and speaking from my personal experience, sometimes when we miss out on the academic exposure and when we join the ACCA qualification right out of school, things like peer assessment, assessing somebody and grading somebody else's work are things that we fundamentally miss out, and we thought, for the benefit of our students and for the pluses that we see around peer assessment, this could be a very interesting and a very innovative addition to the ethics and professional skills module. So what is the peer assessment element of ethics and professional skills? It is where students submit their own work. So when you do your ethics and professional skills module, along the way, when you're completing your units, you will be asked to do a PowerPoint presentation on a certain topic. Once you've completed the PowerPoint presentation, you submit your own work, which will perhaps be assessed by 5 other peer students. Those students will pretty much, the way the algorithm works is they will be at the same level as you are. They would have submitted their own presentation as well for 5 other students to mark them. Once they receive your presentation to mark, they will need to grade your assessment against certain criteria, and we'll look at that in the next upcoming slides as well. So peers will collectively rate your work using the consistent data that we've set. There are thresholds that we've put in place for your peers to basically mark your performance, and we've introduced the algorithm in such a way that we ensure every assessment that the peer are marking is being marked on a fair basis, and the results, when they are being aggregated by the assessors, they're being aggregated in a way where where we feel that there's a process in place which ensures that the marks that have been allotted to students have been given fairly, and there hasn't been any unfair practices, or people haven't been too generous, or people haven't been too stingy with allocating the marks to you. Benefits of peer assessment, very, very simply, it helps, and I think this is a very important factor. In one of my previous roles, I used to do a bit of teaching as well, and what we realized when we used to teach students is when we got them to mark other students' scripts, they used to learn a lot more. They used to learn better, looking at the way other people have performed, or other people have typically written the answers. And the same concept, peer assessment goes on the pretty similar concept, where you learn and you improve and you get better and better when you mark work that your peers have submitted. Sometimes we learn, sometimes we give them feedback. It also helps students, broaden their sort of their horizon, their knowledge. It gives them with the ability to give constructive feedback to peers around, how their performance is, what could have been done better, etc. It also increases the amount of exposure students have to the work that other students do, enhances, the students' motivation in ensuring that they are committing themselves. And this is the most important part. You're not just committing yourself to just completing your work and submitting it online, but you're also committing yourself towards ensuring somebody else's work. In this case, 5 other peers' work are being assessed by you. So when you've submitted yours, you will be asked to mark or assess 5 peer assessments, 5 presentations done by your own peers as well. And these will all be picked randomly, so you might not necessarily get the work of your fellow colleagues studying in Oman. It could be people from anywhere in the globe that you might be sort of assessing on. So these are some of the key benefits of peer assessment, and the way we ensure reliability around how these assessments are marked is we've ensured that these are all independently submitted. They are almost anonymous, so you won't ever be able to see whose work you are marking, where this person is basically, whatever ethnic groups they belong to, where the submission has come from. We ensure complete anonymity there. Students do not have the ability to communicate with one another on the platform, so they wouldn't know who is marking whose assessments. No students will ever be able to assess their own work because it gets randomly picked up and sent to 5. As 5 peers assess each submission, this reduces the reliability risk and promotes more and more fairness. So, as you have more and more students submitting work, students will keep getting the assessments to mark continuously. So the way the algorithm are sort of designed, it's all to ensure that the marking is rigorous, it's fair, and there is a moderation process set in place as well. So it doesn't just stop with 5 students marking your presentation. It goes to an assessor who will then decide whether those assessments have been marked properly or not by the peers. Yep. Where do you find peer assessment? Peer assessment is available on Section 8, Unit 8 of the module. So when you get up to Section 8, I think the final unit is where you are supposed to be making a presentation. It depends on the scenario you've been receiving on the unit, and then you've got to do a PowerPoint presentation and submit it. Right. Before I go into the Career Navigator, I think I'll bring in the Q&A session up to the front, and I will open it up for you to ask any questions if you have around the changes we've just informed you of. Does anybody have any questions? No? No questions at all? Right. If you don't have any questions now, and you tend to have, if you have them anytime later during the event, we're all here. You can come around, get hold of us, and ask them to us, or you can write into us, our contact details, and we'll be happy to give you a response back via email or whatever you prefer. If you would like to speak to us over a phone call, we'll have our contact details up as well shortly, and you can give us a call, and we'll be happy to speak to you, or the teams at ACCA Middle East office will be happy to speak to you. Okay. Right, so moving on, we've got the next segment where I'm going to be introducing one of our newest innovations. It's called the ACCA Career Navigator. Now, all of you would possibly be aware of the ACCA's competency framework. Can I have a show of hands of those of you that have seen the ACCA's competency framework previously? This is the framework on which the entire qualification has been built and designed. Right, okay. So the Career Navigator is nothing but an enhanced version of the ACCA competency framework, which basically encompasses 2 main things: capabilities and career opportunity. And it is very, very relevant to students, affiliates, members, no matter where you are on your qualifications journey. The ACCA Career Navigator will help you in one or the other way. If you are a student, then the Career Navigator will help you see what sort of expertise, what sort of skills do you need to embed, what are the career opportunities available out there, how is the profession going to look in the next decade or so, and what sort of jobs are available in the market. It gives you links to pretty much everything. If you're an affiliate looking at career growth opportunities, the Career Navigator will still equip you with all the possible opportunities or possible ways of enhancing your learning, keeping your learning continuous. It's going to also tell you what you need to do in terms of keeping your, in terms of taking the next steps around your career. How do you see yourself growing, and how you should potentially plan the next stages of your career. If you're a member, it'll help you keep yourself updated on the developments around the profession. It will tell you what's happening. For affiliates and members and the career opportunity aspects, the spectrum is split on 3 levels. you've got the proficient, you've got the expert, and then you've got the leader. So for each level that you are on potentially, you'll be able to see what sort of skills you need to embody, what are the skills that you need to have in order to reach the next stages. And all of this will start going live when I do a demo shortly, and I start taking you through the Career Navigator. But before we do that, let's just have a quick overview of what the Career Navigator is. Now, I've been telling you it's an enhanced version of our, so it's basically a modification of ACCA's competency framework, where we've embodied a lot of our technical and core capabilities along with the soft skills that we think are important for our students, our future members, and our members to possess in order to really be forward thinking, be able to contribute to the development of the accountancy profession in the world, that that there is a need for development of the accountancy profession, and we are being seen as somebody who's contributing immensely to that. So what does the Career Navigator contain? It contains core capabilities to be a sustainable business and finance professional, and we'll see how in a couple of seconds. Like I said, it's presented in 3 levels: proficient, expert, and leader. They link capabilities to job roles. It also has links to ACCA careers, where you'd be able to see employers within your respective regions posting jobs across different markets. It will have CPD opportunities for anyone that is looking for continuous professional development, and it will also give for students, like I mentioned, it will give you the edge and the ability to be able to see and plan your career graphs and how you'd want to have your career develop within the next 5 years, 10 years, etc. So plan it out, and all of this is fully supported and backed by the professional accountants at the heart of sustainable organizations. So this is a research piece which we've been working on for the last 3 years. And everything that you see as part of the Career Navigator is potentially backed by the insights that we've had from this piece of research. These are some of our partners that have helped us design the Career Navigator, and you can see very well-known, reputed names. We've got members, ACCA members, who work with some of these partners that have helped us with building the Career Navigator. We've gone through a lot of surveys, we've gone through extensive focus group discussions, roundtables, etc., for us to be able to come up with such potential toolkit. It's nothing but a toolkit to help you plan ahead, to help you keep yourselves continuously updated. Quick overview of the Career Navigator. As you see, and as I mentioned, it's broadly split into 2 main categories. One is your capabilities, which basically defines everything that you need in order to be a successful accountancy and finance professional. The other aspect is around the career opportunities. The capabilities mainly have, as you see on the screen, ethics, sustainability, and digital at its heart. And these are the core values of the ACCA qualification. As future accounting professionals, ethics, sustainability, and digital are going to be the core pillars that you will need to embody within your practices, within your skills, that will essentially help organizations prosper and sustain themselves. If you see the expertise on the top right side over here, this is what embodies all of your technical skills. These are all the exams that students do. So they range from law, performance management, taxation, audit and assurance, financial management, etc. You come down, you look at collaboration. Collaboration will give you the right kind of skills that are needed, the inclusivity element, the gender biasness. All of that is going to be covered under collaboration for our members, future members, to be able to, reflect on how they should be, in an environment that is becoming increasingly diverse. We're seeing a lot of complex scenarios come up, and basically the Career Navigator is your one-stop shop that can potentially help you. You look at insights on top there. Insights is everything about your expertise, experience, and your vision. So these are some of the skills that you will probably need to embody, you'll need to have when you think about becoming a successful accounting and finance professional, followed by drive, which is mainly things around using data, innovating, bringing in analysis, and a lot of different things to play here. when you look at the career opportunities, we've broadly classified these in 4 segments, and we'll explore these 4 segments on the live walkthrough that we have. But before I go into the live walkthrough, again, another opportunity for anybody to ask any questions. Do you have any questions on the career? Yes. Yes, Zahir.
Mr. Tahir, thank you for the presentation and the update on the ACCA. My question is mainly about the Career Navigator. Do you have any plan to present this or to showcase to the ACCA members in Oman, either face-to-face or virtual? I think it's very important for all our members to be aware of this. Thank you.
Very valid question, Mr. Zahir. Thank you so much. We've only just launched the Career Navigator on 29th of October, and we are in the process of communicating this to pretty much all of our stakeholders, not just students, affiliates, and members, but also our employers, our academic partners, our learning partners. So we'll be conducting sessions, in the upcoming weeks around the Career Navigator, and pretty much a similar session where we will be introducing the Career Navigator to them. We will be going and doing a live walkthrough so that our members, future members, all stakeholders that are related to ACCA can then benefit from the extensive work that has gone behind putting this toolkit in place. So yes, expect to see something soon, inshallah. Any other questions? Does anybody have any questions around the ACCA Career Navigator? Right, no, we can move on then. So this is, I'm just trying to see why this isn't changing. I've got is there, I think I'm fairly sure I'm doing something wrong here.
Actually, वो presentation.
Certain setting, we should be fine.
लाइव डिस्प्ले नहीं होगा, बट ये हमें चाहिए होगा. मैं उसको बुलाऊं?
Yeah, it's on a laptop. Hope you've had a nice breather. Just very, very quickly wanted to give you a quick tour of the Career Navigator. The links are on our website, which is www.accaglobal.com. You can log on to the website and access the Career Navigator. You should also have a tiny link, I think, on your My ACCA account. So if you log into your My ACCA accounts, you should also be able to see a link to ACCA's Career Navigator, but it's there, and this is how it looks. As you see, you know, we've got the capabilities and career opportunities here. Let's start exploring. So what you do basically is just click on Start Today, and it's going to ask you whether you want to explore the capabilities bit of the Career Navigator or you want to dive straight into the careers aspect. If I was a student, I would try and see, yes, careers would be an ideal option for me to go into, because that's going to start giving you access to the kind of opportunities that are available out there. But I'd also be keen on exploring what kind of capabilities as a future professional qualification or a budding professional in the accounting and finance field I need to have. Once you get into the capability side of things, like I mentioned, you'd be able to assign yourself a role. You can decide if you're somebody who's starting and in a junior position, you would be somebody who's a proficient, potentially somebody who's an ACCA affiliate. If you've moved into a mid-management role, you're an expert. And if you're somebody who's into senior leadership roles, then you're naturally a leader. What you'll be able to do here within the capability section is, for instance, let's explore the proficient aspect here. When you go into proficiency, this is a roulette. They say it's a roulette. It's a spinning wheel or something, which is going to basically give you all the different kind of capabilities that employers today expect to see from their future employees, and these are the expertise that you need to explore once you go into the accounting and finance profession. Let's dive into one of these. Let's say if we go into digital, what is digital? Here on top, it'll tell you what level you are. If you are a proficient in the accounting and finance field, where can you expect yourself to be? What are the next steps for you? What are the related capabilities? And when you click through each of these capabilities, you'll be able to see what collaboration means. It'll expand on what collaboration means, what kind of skills you need to basically embed within your day-to-day practices. Digital skills, what are the digital skills that somebody needs to have in order for them to move from proficient to an expert level or to have the next career steps? What is drive? What kind of capabilities would be covered within the drive, within insights, etc. If you're somebody who's a member, you will basically be able to see the CPD resources that are accessible to you for you to be able to develop some of these skills and capabilities. And there's a lot more, It's just out there for you to explore. It's all of these statements here, you can click and explore what it means. There are live examples, there are articles attached to each of these, which basically will let you explore the underlying principles around those capabilities. Now, I just wanted to give you a quick whistle-stop tour. So let's get out of capability side and let's very quickly explore the careers. And this is very extensive, by the way. I'm not even touching the surface with going into some of these. When you start exploring the ACCA Career Navigator, there's going to be a whole host of things that you'll start, discovering, the kind of skills, the kind of opportunities available out there for you. Even the career zones, you'll be able to see we've split every opportunity into 4 main career zones: the assurance provider, the enterprise analyst, the stakeholder reporter, and the transformation driver. And within each of these career zones, there are elements around related skills, related technical competencies and capabilities, what exams you should have almost passed on your ACCA for you to be able to, get the relative skills, etc. So it's a very comprehensive toolkit, and I urge all of you, to take an opportunity to dive into this and benefit from this. Yep. Any questions again on the Career Navigator? Right, yep, no problems this time. Okay, if there are no questions, I think, Ahmed, I am handing over to you, and we move on to the next segment of this evening. But thank you, and hope these updates have been useful to, to all of you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tahir, for such a detailed presentation and sharing the insights and updates with our students. So moving on to the next section. How many of you are ACCA students? Can you please raise your hands? Raise your hands properly. Be proud you are ACCA students. Right. So do you think that passing an ACCA exam is a difficult thing? It's easy? How many of you think it's difficult? Right. So yeah, so a lot of you think that passing an ACCA exam is a difficult thing. But then there comes those who don't only pass the exams, but also they secure enough marks to be called prize winners for the region. So the next section is for those who have secured the prize winner positions in Oman, right, in the last three sessions, March 2021, June 2021, and September 2021. For this, I would like to call on stage Mr. Zahir Al-Wahebi, Mr. Ali Al-Batashi, and Mr. Tahir Kapasi. So I will be calling the name of the prize winners one by one, and you have to come on stage, collect your certificate, and once you have collected your certificate, please don't leave the stage, just gather on one side, because at the end, we'll be having one group photograph as well. So starting on with the first name, Mazin Hussain. Thank you. Mazin, please. Awais Habibullah. Arya Sudhir. Do you want me to call out the name of the exam in which they have secured? Yes. Yeah, why not? My apologies for that. Yeah, so Mazin has secured Advanced Financial Management in March 2021. Awais in Advanced Taxation in March 2021. Arya in Strategic Business Leader in March 21. The next is Jovine Joel for Financial Management in June 2021. Yusra Tahir for Financial Reporting, June 2021. Madhumati for Strategic Business Leader in June 2021. Hashir Noor for Taxation in June 2021. A big round of applause for Jovine, who has secured another position in audit and assurance in September 2021. Jovine.
Well done.
Fatima Feroz for advanced audit and assurance in September 2021. We have another repeat prize winner, Madhumati, for advanced financial management in September 2021. Said Saleh Saud for financial reporting in September 2021. I think he has left or gone out. Hajar Al Yahyai for strategic business reporting in September 2021. Anyone would like to guess what's next to? The repeat for Hashinur for performance management in September 2021. And last but not the least, Awais Habibullah, strategic business leader, September 2021. Another repeat. Can we all have a big round of applause for all of them? All of you, please, together.
So we come on this side as well. Come.
Sorry? Said Saleh is here. If I can request Zahir, Ali, and Tahir for the picture, please. One. Your brother.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's your brother.
In the middle.
في الوسط
Zahir, if I can request you to stay on stage for your closing remarks, please.
Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Dear guests, SCCA students, members, ladies and gents, it is a great pleasure for me to say a few words at this lovely event. I'm very delighted to be here for the first event almost 2 years now, and it is a very good opportunity to see the prize winner in Oman. Congratulations to all winners. Your hard work, dedication, and effort has paid off. Well done. Actually, we meet at a time where countries, companies around the world are continue to adjust and advance and adopt in the changing environment. From COVID-19, climate change, we have the acceleration digitalizations, as well as workforce changes. These are just examples of some changes, and I think you will agree with me. The speed of these changes also is something very remarkable. These changes are shaping the business models and also the role of professional accountant and finance professionals. The changes are also presenting a brilliant opportunities for accountancy professions in sustainable business over the next coming years. SCCA, with its unique knowledge, innovation, mindset of thinking ahead with the powerful tools like what just been presented now, career navigation, as well as the way of connecting communities as well as professionals around the world. It is in the best and brilliant area to be able to take advantage of these opportunities. SCCA with unique knowledge, actually, for example, early last month, I was attending the 2 days SCCA International Assembly with the senior SCCA leadership and members across the globe with a focus on 3 areas: future development, learning needs, and accountability for professionals in the rapidly changing environment. And of course, SCCA members as well as the students with a unique blend of expertise and training, including continual development and global perspective, are very critical in this changing environment and possessing a very successful career. At the end, I would like to express my warm thanks to the organizer, SCCA Middle East, Majan University, for the fantastic working they have done in preparation, organization, and the hosting of this event. Thank you all. This event has been a wonderful event that I have enjoyed, learned, and actually I inspired by the winner tonight. And I was between me and I was just asking when last time we have done similar thing. We don't need to go into those details now. So well done, congratulations, all the winners, and all the best in your remaining papers, and looking forward to see you again soon, inshallah. Take care and good night. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Zahir. For everyone's information, Mr. Zahir is fellow member of ACCA, as well as a member of Member Advisory Committee in Oman. So a big round of applause for Mr. Zahir. So here we would have to say goodbye to our online audience, because we will now be getting into an activity which can only be done for the face-to-face audience. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined us online. Hope you have enjoyed today's session. If you have any feedback, please feel free to reach out to us. You can drop us an email at educationme@accglobal.com. Thank you so much. And those of you who are planning to leave, the best has yet to come. So you can wait for now. So have you guys downloaded the Kahoot application on your mobile? Can I see the raise of hands? So the remaining, are you planning to download the Kahoot app now?